We all need Canada's youth to succeed. We need youth to help design drones to put out forest fires and ensure artificial intelligence doesn't outsmart us all. We need youth to help cure the diseases we don't even know exist yet.
We need new skills
for a completely new job force.
But we're not prepared.
That's why RBC created Future Launch, to empower Canadian youth for the jobs of tomorrow.
Like people, businesses have their journey, their path, sometimes straight, but more often evolving, growing, and adapting. And like people, businesses' needs change, creating the need for knowledge in areas like accounting, consulting, and tax. Areas critical to your continued growth and success, all part of the journey, and all part of what we do together with you. So that when your business has arrived, it's ready to keep going. MNP, wherever business takes you.
Welcome to Pythons Pit.
Hi, it's great to meet you, Riya.
Great to meet you too. Excited to be here.
Well, congratulations really go to you. You've done a great job and you've gotten this far in the competition, so you have your opportunity to pitch to the Pythons. So if you're ready to go, if you're all set, the floor is yours.
Thank you so much. Pythons. I want you to imagine living in a world surrounded by emerging technologies like artificial intelligence and quantum computing. But you are limited to using a messenger pigeon as your only means of communication. What seems like a horror story is actually a reality for millions of visually impaired all around the world who are reliant on the same age-old stick that was never updated to take advantage of new technologies. This stick largely limits independence and safety. That's where the Smart Cane comes in. So I was at my friend's house last year and I had a chance encounter with her visually impaired grandmother. And she was bumping into all sorts of obstacles around the house. And I thought I was crazy and it inspired me to come up with a solution. So the Smart Cane is a revolutionized assistive tech device for the visually impaired that enables mobility and autonomy through safe and convenient travel experiences. So designed with the user in mind, the Smart Cane is a white cane with value-added features to enable user independence and safety. There's adjustable object detection and a light sensor to inform users of their surroundings, and GPS functionality to direct a user to their destination using varying vibrations and audio feedback. An emergency button also allows users, when pressed, to notify personnel of their location and medical history whenever assistance is required. But how many people live with visual impairment in the first place? Worldwide, it totals to over 260 million, a number that continues to grow. That is how massive this crucial problem is. So the Smart Cane is priced at about $540 per unit when we anticipate growth margins about 65%. And to increase sales and awareness within the consumer base, it will be primarily sold through existing white cane sales channels of our potential partners like the CNIB. So our team currently consists of 9 individuals ranging from MBAs, designers, to engineers who are all really passionate about making the world more accessible through technology. Smart Cane is the only solution for the visually impaired that optimizes a well-known device, the white cane, through value-added features to create a tool that'll still work even in the rare case some challenges are to be faced. Comparing this to other available tools, Smart Cane provides advantages in terms of being a standalone solution that increases independence while maintaining low risk of failure at a very affordable price point. So Smart Cane so far has won many previous competitions, and we've gained about $40,000 in funding and are receiving cash and in-kind services from companies like Microsoft, Inertia Engineering, and Aero Electronics, and more. And if we were to win the competition, the money would go towards filing our patent and also further hardware development with Inertia Engineering. So Pythons, who wants to join us on this journey to ensuring more people like my friend's grandmother can have more independence, safety, and new experiences through the aid of Second Sight? Thank you.
So Clinton, welcome to Pythons Pit.
Thank you.
We had a really awesome day today. We saw all kinds of presentations. But before we get into that, why don't you tell me a little bit about yourself?
Sure thing. So I have been in the custom side of the audio-video smart home business for residential for about 23 years now. So I work with high-end individuals renovating and building new homes in terms of choosing, specifying products for music throughout the house, touch screens, automating lighting, custom theater rooms, things like that. So basically home control and home entertainment. And a few years ago, it's been something I've been looking forward to doing for many years. I also added residential real estate into what I do. So I've got a couple different lines of business. So I'm doing the audio-video smart home consulting as well as residential real estate.
Super.
Yeah.
So what Pythons Pit, you were here today. What attracted you to participate in Pythons Pit?
Well, you know, I'm good friends with Free and Samji, so she had some arm twisting in it. But no, I was actually very honored to be thought of and offered the opportunity. Yeah, just, I mean, you know, I love seeing the passion of young people and, you know, the entrepreneurial spirit. And when I heard about the concept and what it was all about, yeah, I was excited about it and jumped on it.
So how was your experience today? How'd you describe it?
Well, you know, aside from you, I mean, I'm just joking. It was great, actually. I had a great time today, and it was good to reconnect with some friends here, and it was nice to meet you today as well. And I had a super day, actually. There's some great pitches, and I love seeing that young energy. You know, it's kind of like I'm an artist. I paint, and you know, I think about kids. You see kids doing art, and there's no rules. Yeah. They just do whatever, and they just have a great time. And it's kind of this kind of reminds me of that, you know, because as you grow up and get hammered in business a few times, you start to, you know, you get a little gun shy. Right?
A little more conservative.
When you're, you know, when you're just getting started and you got nothing to lose, you just go for it, and it's all ideal. And I love seeing that energy and the nothing's going to stop me attitude. That's what it is.
Was there anything special that inspired you today in terms of what you saw?
I saw a few different ones stand out. I don't want to give anything away in terms of my opinions, but no, I definitely got inspired by a few of the presenters. Yeah.
So we saw, I think, 7 presentations today. They were all great.
Yep.
But what advice might you give them as a group in terms of things they might look to improve on and pay attention to?
I think just really digging into the plans a little deeper, just in terms of costing, and looking at some worst case scenarios in terms of timelines and just sort of that ramp up money, because I think, you know, sometimes you can get ahead of yourself and kind of launch things prematurely. And just, you know, there was some really good ideas, and you know, just the advice would just be to take your time, make sure that you've got all your ducks in a row before you fully launch. Yeah.
Okay. So Pythons Pit is all about you know, youth and entrepreneurship. Mm-hmm. So how important do you think Pythons Pit is, and where do you think its role is in terms of generating entrepreneurship and innovation in our community? Yeah,
I think as far as our community goes, it's definitely a unique. It's a unique opportunity for the kids. I mean, I don't think this is this is not the norm for most communities. So I think you know, having the sort of, Burlington's very good actually for an entrepreneurial spirit, and there's a lot of entrepreneurs and business-minded people here. So I think it's a great program and a great opportunity for the kids. I hope to see it expand. Actually, I'd like to see it get even much bigger than it is. And you know, this is my first year involved. I understand it's been going now for several years and evolving every year, which makes sense. So yeah, I think it's great, and yeah, hope it keeps going.
So looking forward, is this something you might think about doing again, or if somebody asked you about it, how would you recommend it to somebody?
I think I absolutely would. Yeah, I'd like to do it again for sure, and yeah, most definitely. I'd say nothing but positive things.
Obviously, you're much farther along than a number of the groups we've seen, and so congratulations for all the work you've done.
Thank you so
and I am
much.
sure the Pythons have some terrific questions for you.
Yeah.
So who would like to? Sure, you're going to start?
I'll go first. Excellent presentation.
Thank you so
It seems
much.
that you've thought out the whole product very well. I wanted to ask you, it's a medical device, there's patents around it, there's safety and security around it. What do you
Yeah.
see as your biggest risk factors with this product?
Yeah, so I think the biggest risk is if the technology fails to work. So when developing the product, we went through multiple iterations. It started out as a smart shoe, and then we later saw that, well, if something were to fail to work, then we would be putting their lives at risk. So the reason that we wanted to put the technology in the cane was if anything were to happen, they'd still be able to use the white cane for its original purpose. So we're still working on that to make sure that, let's say if the directions stopped all of a sudden, still making sure that they're able to go on their own.
Are there subsidies given to people who need canes and for this type of technology given from the government?
So the government has a program called ADP, and they provide about 75% subsidy. So we're going to start conversations with them to see if our accessibility device would fall under that as well.
As far as the size and shape, and would it be similar to what you have, or is this going to be heavier or clunkier or larger or anything like that? How do you see that working?
Yeah, so it would actually be almost the exact same. However, we would have the technology within the handle of the cane and with an ergonomic grip, so it won't be that big of a transition. So the reason that we chose that was it would also encourage people to switch to the smart cane in general because the use and the feel of it would be the exact same, but they would be able to get more features through it. And the transition when working with the orientation and mobility specialists when they're learning how to use it will also be easier.
Excellent.
So where are you at in the actual development of the technology? Because obviously that's the big thing you're promoting as the value add. Where is that at in terms of the work
so
you're doing?
right now we have a prototype. So we have the object detection and the location sharing with family members and caregivers, and the GPS functionalities are in progress. So Microsoft is helping us a little on the software aspects of that, and we're also trying to recruit more software developers in process of that. Recently, last week, I had a meeting with the head of marketing for Google, and he connected me with their Google Maps team to help us with that as well.
What would you say is the biggest competition out there? Because there's probably other companies that are looking to do something similar to you.
Yeah, so there's a few other companies with a smart cane, and the only features that they have are object detection, and they're also very early stage. So our competitive advantage is the GPS functionality, so being able to direct a user to their destination with vibrations and audio, so really increasing that next level of independence.
Would that be something that's paid for on like a monthly basis? Like I think about, you know, in our vehicles, right, where we used to have OnStar that was a monthly subscription and things like that, like, you know, to summon someone or notify for emergency, or, you know, the buttons that sometimes elderly that would have like around your neck. So would it be a subscription kind of paid service in that regard, do you think?
So we'd be selling the cane on its own, so it wouldn't be a subscription paid.
Okay.
It would be, you would pay it at once, and you'd be able to use it from there. And if you get the cane, you'll get a code, and you'll be able to log in with our mobile app.
Okay.
What do you expect the total cost? I mean, I know you've raised $40,000 already. Congrats on that. That's
Thank
great.
you.
But even if you got the 5 today, like what is the expected cost before you're actually going to have a product and manufacturing ready to go to actually turn this into a real sellable thing?
So we're working with a company called Inertia Engineering, is helping us with the design and hardware aspects in terms of mechanical and electrical engineering. So we're working on getting an estimate cost from them. They said it would be about $100,000 from start to finish, and we're hoping to get an MVP out by the end of this year. So right now we're in the patent process, and one of the things are patents are very expensive. So the $5,000 would really help with filing that patent and really getting that in, and then also another 20% of that would go towards the hardware development with Inertia.
Cool. Thanks. And one other quick question. I noticed in your synopsis you had 9 employees already. How are you covering the cost of 9 employees?
Yeah, so right now we aren't paying the employees, it's through equity. Okay. And so right now they're all really passionate about the cause, which also helps drive that. And hopefully in the future, when we do start generating revenue, we'll have salaries for them.
Great.
And is the tracking device in there, like it's a cellular signal? Is it attached, is it Bluetooth to your cell phone and that type of thing?
Yeah, so it's Bluetooth to your cell phone. So we have a Bluetooth module within the cane that you can just connect to your cell phone.
So don't leave your cell phone at home then, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah. Interesting.
James could probably use a cane like this when he leaves parties sometimes.
Yeah, I think you could be definitely valuable on many fronts. Thank you for for that, Clinton.
You have a nice team of 9 people. I was going to ask you, what strengths do you bring to your team?
Yeah, so right now I have some entrepreneurship experience. In the past, I had a venture when I was in about grade 7, and then I have a lot of contacts with some VCs, and they have a lot of mentorship for us. So it's the business, and I also am a coder, so I contribute to the software aspects and also the circuitry in terms of the hardware, and also managing the team of 9. So it's a little weird because I'm 15 and everybody else is above 20. So, but it's really great. Everyone's super passionate about what we're doing, and they're really invested in it.
That's incredible.
Nice.
Thank
Well
you.
done. Yep.
Thank you.
Awesome.
I really appreciate it.
Okay, awesome job, Riya.
Thank you.
Congratulations. Obviously, you've taken this much farther than a lot of the different pitches that people are seeing today, but you've done a terrific job. I've had the opportunity to get to know you before, and you continue to do fantastic things, so it's
Thank
really
you.
great. Closing remarks from the Pythons. Maybe Clinton, comment?
Yeah, thank you so much. It's an amazing product idea, and the work you're doing, and especially at your age, is extremely impressive. So
Thank you.
keep up the great work, and I wish you all the best. Good luck.
Thank you so much.
Same. Excellent presentation. Excellent idea. Go with it.
Thank you.
Yeah, anything that helps someone with a vision impairment, I think is really going to be really life changing for a lot
I
of
hope
people.
so, yeah.
Yeah. Good. I mean, it's very altruistic. I think it's phenomenal. You saw a need, and you made change, right? You're being the change to actually provide a solution on that. I mean, I applaud you. Absolutely. Congrats.
Thank you so much. It means a lot. Great to meet you guys. So it was really neat to be able to communicate what your company is in just 3 minutes in a short time span, and through the use of props, like an elevator pitch if you were to talk to someone in the elevator. And I learned so much things about structuring a pitch appropriately, what to include, what not to include, take away the fluff, and it was an amazing learning experience. I loved it. I think it went really well. The Pythons were really nice, super supportive, and the pitch, I was a little nervous before, but the pitch went really well, the questions went well, and we'll see what happens.